I am so happy to have your presence here with me for this reading that we're doing to find out what goes through their mind when they see you. What do they think? And this could be for any level of relationship, someone you've never met before, someone that you're in a situationship with, someone that you're in a deep relationship with. We are reading all the cards and we are finding out what is going through their mind. Take a breath, let yourself get present, release anything you don't need, create some space. Let your spine go strong and long. Let your heart open and your energy open. You'll feel pulled to one of these 4 cards and 4 crystals. Card 1, card 2, card 3, or card 4. Take a nice deep breath. Let your intuition be your guide and choose a card right now. Hello, my card 1. Land. You have arrived. Okay, so today we're doing a reading to find out what they think of you when they see you. What do they think when they see you? What's going on in their mind? What's going on in their head? This can be for any level of relationship, situationship, someone that you haven't even talked to yet. This could be anywhere along the spectrum, but we're going to get more answers as we go. So first of all, I would like to pull a few cards. So I'm going to pull a few cards for you here. And I'm going to pull a few cards for you here to get us started. Okay, so first of all, we're going to pull over our anchor card and see what our anchor card has to say. So what are they thinking of you when they see you? And for our anchor card, this is a separate deck, so this could be duplicated. We have the 9 of Cups coming in. So I am seeing that they are feeling like their wishes could be fulfilled, like you could be the person, you could be it. Like all of this possibility opens up. Our cups get into feelings and emotions, and this is very much kind of like a, wishes coming true, things being fulfilled, things just really coming together and feeling like, oh my goodness, wow, what a wealth. Look at all this wealth, this like what an abundance of things that I want, things that are on my list, things that I have been dreaming of. When they see you, you are just really bringing it all in for them. It's an extremely positive sign. It's an extremely good thing. There are a lot of positive and lovely, yummy, good connotations with this. So this is great. When they see you, they are immediately like, oh, yes, this and this and this and this. And all of that energy and excitement and emotion is starting to really just overflow and bubble up. Now we have the Moon, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the Chariot, yummy. We have the King of Cups, we have the Empress, and we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so lots of positive energy coming in. So let's get started over here with the Moon. So with the Moon is showing us that there are secrets, there are things that are, in the darkness, there are things that are hidden, there are things that are intuitive. So I'm seeing that there's probably not a whole lot of communication on this end. This is a lot of unspoken stuff. There's a lot of stuff that just hasn't come out yet. It hasn't come out of the darkness. It's been in the secret pieces. It's been in a place where it's not been communicated. It's not come through, but it's intuitively hitting them. It's intuitively in the energy between you. It's hidden away, but it's not fully, it hasn't fully emerged, but I'm guessing that you can feel this as well because of your intuition, your deep inner knowing. There are probably pieces of this that are just shining and showing through, but a whole lot of stuff that hasn't been communicated yet, that hasn't been spoken, that hasn't been said, that is still just very much tucked away. The 9 of Pentacles coming in, and there's an opulence about you. There is a luxuriousness about you. You're well put together. You are really, you're really showing all of these signs of you taking care of yourself, that you're taking care of things. Whether or not you really are, you're showing a lot of signs that way, and they are seeing that and feeling that, and that's really just emanating from your essence and your aura. It feels like you're financially provided for, that you're financially able to take care of yourself. Your kindness, your nurturing nature really comes up and stands out and shines through. Your growth orientation, that you're growth oriented, but also just, really being well put together, really really taking care of all of the things in your world, that you're well tended to, and that you're taking care of yourself well. And that shows, and that's coming off quite well. So we also have the Chariot here. So I'm feeling like there's this inner drive that gets lit up when you're around. This inner drive to move forward, I want to say to conquer. This inner drive to kind of maybe show off, to show the momentum in their life, to show their strength, to show their appeal, their ability to go out, get what they want, and nothing getting in their way, the actions that they're taking, this need to kind of show up as this kind of person that's really on fire, moving fast. It would be the kind of feeling of having a really fancy car, and wanting to show it off, but not without necessarily having the fancy car. That kind of thing of oh, I want to flex a couple muscles here. I want to do a couple things that really, really get your attention. Because I don't know how to put all this into words yet. I don't know how to move this forward quite yet, but that drive in me is really lit up. And also I want to show off that this is the kind of, energy that I'm bringing to the table. Now we also have the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is this, again, we're getting into the cups, which are those emotions and feelings. This is a beautiful card. So I'm feeling two things here, that as the feelings that they're getting when they see you are first of all, they're really coming to the surface for them. There's a lot of feelings brewing. They're feeling like, oh wow, I'm really in touch with my feelings that are coming through. I'm having these urges to, take care of, to express myself, to nurture and foster an emotional bond with this person. All of these, feelings are being elicited. And a lot of those are still, like I said, under the surface of the water here, but they're really brewing under the water there. They're really, sort of stirring up there. Now, the other thing is that I feel like there's a part of your energy and your essence, whether you're in contact at all or not, that is, shaking up this feeling of, this is the kind of man I am. This is the kind of energy I have. I am the kind of person who is able to express themselves. I'm really like the full package, where I've got this, sort of this very masculine energy paired with this more, and I don't want to say feminine energy, but it's, with that emotionality, being able to express emotions, being able to be a good listener, to be able to follow up with things that you say because they haven't forgotten it. They were really in tune with it and in touch with your feelings at the time. Those kinds of qualities. That they're really, sort of feeling those sorts of things come up within them just by your energy and your presence. And part of your energy and your presence that is really showing up is the Empress energy here, that they're seeing you in this very fertile, and that doesn't need to get into like actual birthing fertility, but this, this creative being that you create, you make, you manifest, you generate, you grow. All this growth that's happening, you're graceful. And I do see this very graceful presence in you, this, well put together, but also just a very graceful energy here on both ends of what really strikes them about you is this, you are kind, you are caring, you nurture, you grow things around you, you're creative, you're smart, but it just all sort of bubbles around you in this very divine feminine energy. And there is this very divine feminine energy that really shows forth, and it's interesting how their energy really juxtaposes your energy in that way, that like those parts of themselves really surface to sort of balance you out, or because that's how that energy feels the best together. Now we also have the Ace of Swords. Now I am seeing the Ace of Swords less as a feeling. Yes, there is some clarity coming in as a feeling. Yes, there is some real thought power coming in, a good idea is coming in. But I'm also seeing it as an eventuality, that there's this momentum building up here, and this is telling us that, hey, there's a new opportunity. Aces get into our new opportunities, for some real clarity for both of you, for like having these moments of really coming together and figuring out where this can go, what it could be, what, like just like stuff really coming together and happening. Even if you're in a deep relationship already, this all still stands. So, like it's just an evolution of that relationship. And there's something very royal about it. We have that crown. There's something very royal and honest and truthful about this. And there's also something very growth oriented here. The new things are growing, just like these pieces of aliveness that are growing here, the garlands on top. So there's something new that is actually coming in as well. So it's going to be coming in and being handed off to both of you as an opportunity for new clarity, for new ideas, new thoughts, new things really coming in for the two of you here. Let's pull some more cards. So I'd like to ask a few specific questions. So I would like to ask your guides, higher power, source, all good higher energy, what we need to know about this person. What do we need to know about this person? So first of all, we're getting the Queen of Swords. It's very interesting. So you need to start with your mind and your brain in order to decipher this person's character and how good of a fit and how everything really actually feels and what's going on between you and how the energy goes back and forth and how to communicate or what to communicate, if you should say something, if they should say something. You want to be very strategic, mind-oriented, and very, I don't want to say calculated, but I do want to say calculated at the same time, where you're really using your brain space and your thought space to make the best moves. That's going to be the best way to show up with this person right now. So that's an important part of your process of what you need to do in order to know more about them, in order to decipher, but also right now where you are in this relationship, this situationship, these encounters, whatever it is, use your brain space right now to decipher more information, pull more information in, because you have that seed of power and that seed of knowing already. Pull it in, let it come to you. What else do you need to know about this person? I'd like to know what else you need to know about this person. The Hierophant. So I'm feeling like this person has a real desire and need to learn and grow, seek out wisdom, have some following some sort of social norm, whether that's some sort of religious path or just a set of rules and social guidelines from society at large. That could be different from yours, that could be the same as yours, but there is some structure to their life that's going to be pretty important and pretty defining of who they are as a human being and how they act and react in this world, and also how they are going to interact in a relationship should you get to that point. So there's a part of them that's very wisdom seeking, but also very wise themselves, but also just seeking out wisdom, which is of course a trait of someone who is wise. They want to know more and seek it out and continue to grow. But also there is something structurally around this person, from spirituality to religion to thought patterns of how to live their life and follow certain guidelines and social rules. There are some certain things that are very, very powerful and ingrained in this person. So I'd like to know what you should be working on. What do you need to lean into? What kind of actions should you be taking if you want to move this forward? What is coming through for that? What kind of information is coming through for that? Oh, interesting. We have the Seven of Swords reversed. So Seven of Swords is that kind of thieving card. Again, we're getting into the thought space, somebody running away with something. So the very first thing that comes to mind here is just to be extremely real, to be extremely authentic, to be extremely exactly what you seem to be. So let yourself show up as your realist self. Try not to fit into any kind of mask or any type of, if I'm pulling this energy for the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles, and you're like, oh, well, that's how I want to show up, if that's how they're seeing me and that's what they're attracted to, sort of take that away and let that go away. Just let that dissolve and just keep showing up as your realist self, as you. not putting any kind of mask on, not doing anything to, to sort of uh, plant anything that isn't genuine. Keeping it very genuine and truthful is going to be very important to this person. And also for any growth that happens here for you as well. But also it's going to be very important to this person particularly. And this could have to do with, some of their ideals and their social structures and mental structures around how things should be. So I'm also seeing here a need for you. Don't get too carried away with your thoughts. Don't get too carried away with the imaginings, the things that, like, if you have a lot of thoughts swirling about this person, you just keep thinking, let yourself pull back and step into reality and use your Queen of Swords mind, where you are really sitting into the reality, your knowledge, the truth of what is real, and keep coming back to that. So if you find that you are just, your imagination, your thoughts are just running wild and, like, taking things away with you, where you're just, you've done a couple of, Instagram, like deep dives, or you are in, and so now you're just swirling down this rabbit hole of deciding who this person really is. Keep stepping back to reality. And that's gonna be important for you moving forward, that if you are getting so carried away with the non-reality, then you need to have more action moving forward of getting more reality from them. So it's having some conversations, whatever kind of deep conversation needs to happen, moving things forward in a different way where you can actually pull the real information from them, because that could be a real mistake, is just sort of deciding a collection of things about them and then running away with it. Because I think it could hurt things overall. They might feel like, oh, actually you're liking somebody else altogether. That's not who I am. But also that you have the potential to be in a completely false relationship with somebody who's in your imagination. What obstacles lie here right now? What obstacles are coming up for you right here, right now? What is coming up as an obstacle? Temperance. So I feel like this could go in two different ways, that you or they could both have some temperance issues where you're really swinging one way on something or another way on something. Things are out of balance in your life somehow, and that could, get into the biggest sorts of things, from, being like extremely religious or having extreme, sort of values to one way, or having an extreme, focus on money, or an extreme focus on, certain things, having too many emotions, having these emotions that overtake you or overtake them, and they can't, so there's something here in an imbalanced way that it has the potential to be a real obstacle and a real block for this moving forward. So I would look at yourself first, because obviously that's going to be the easiest, and just be aware that there are some, some real, like, all one way kind of things going on somewhere in this energy field that could be knocking things over. And, of course, those can get into the other extremes for some really negative behaviors or addictions, things like that. But that's not necessarily true. It just can really run to one end or the other. And that we all have some extreme behaviors, and there is a tendency to, you're never fully balanced. So that's okay. But just know that could be a problem coming in here. So now I would like to ask about anything that needs to happen in your heart space right now. Is there anything that you is particularly blocking you? Is there anything coming up that you really need to focus on in order to open up a pathway for something to really happen here? So we have the Three of Pentacles coming up, or Pentacles getting into worldly goods often with financial space, body space, health space, the things that you have in your home, your car, all that stuff. The Three of Pentacles is kind of an architectural card. These people are working in, they're working together to build something beautiful. And it is, a collaboration. So for you, for having a block here that could really, that could stop things up, and we're really specifically getting into your heart space as well. I feel like there's a possibility that first of all, you might have a hard time cooperating with people. You might have a hard time in that collaborative space and collaborative spirit, which is important for all relationships. So for something to truly come together and move on, you have to have a joint vision. You have to be able to build something together. And there could be some blocks in here where you just have a really hard time leaning into that. It could be a fierceness of independence, of, like, oh, you're coming in, you're trying to change my world. That feels bad. I'm going to really lash out about that. There could be something in there that just sparks something that the easiest thing to do right now to work on this block is to work on your other relationships. So, still keep all this energy open, but to help open this up more is look at your friendships, look at your work relationships, look at all of those things and see where you can be more collaborative. Do you get really defensive with criticism? What can you do about that? Really notice as things come up, maybe start to journal about it. It's a very effective way of pinpointing behaviors. Where do you get really defensive? Those are the best probably signs that okay, this is something is going on here, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means that oh, something is lighting up here. And this could be hard in a love relationship to grow something to a full architectural masterpiece, which is what you want. You want a life of architectural masterpiece for your love life. Okay. And I would like to see if we have any guidance on what kind of outcome we could have here. What kind of outcome could we have here? What kind of outcome could we have here? What kind of outcome could we have here? That is really something, isn't it? Hi. Thank you to the cards for such a clear answer. So we started with our 9 of Cups, and like I said, this is a separate deck from our pink deck, so we can pull a duplicate card. And we have, and that is our final card. So what we started with is our anchor card of what this person thinks of you when they see you, is like wish fulfillment, things coming true, things being able to oh, the possibilities. And what is the possibility for this relationship for what this could become is wish fulfillment, everything that you want, having an abundance, being in a place of fulfillment and joy and happiness and growth, and having all these feelings and emotions which get into our cups territory. This feeling of look at all of this wealth of abundance, of love, of feeling, of emotion, feeling complete, feeling like things have really come true for me. Things have really come true here. I mean, that's so beautiful. And that is so beautiful. I love that. I love that as an answer. And I love that we got to really get a good, strong, oh, okay, there's confirmation. It is worth looking at any, intemperances, things that are really off or imbalance. It is worth showing up as your truest self. It is worth working on your relationships and your ability to collaborate. It is worth, using your mind and, being strategic and being really grounded in the truth. So all of this is really worth it. If you want to do a deeper dive, there's a link below for you to do a deeper dive. Let's go ahead. Well, I feel like we have to drop a cup below. Any kind of cup. I think what's available to us, I think the best one's that trophy cup. So the trophy cup's my favorite cup to put below. But also, a wine cup, a coffee cup, anything will do. Anything will work. I thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this space and time with me. You know how grateful I am for you. I would love some comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings. I read them all. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light until I get to see you again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card 2. Land, arrive. Here you are. Okay, so today we are figuring out what he thinks when he sees you. What is he thinking when he sees you? What are his thoughts? This can span from any type of relationship. So someone that you know really well, this could be an intense relationship you're in. This could be someone you've never met before. This could be a situationship. This could be any of the above. So we're really pulling in an energy, and we're going to get more information as we find out what the cards are telling us. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by pulling some cards here for you. Okay, and we're pulling some cards here as well. Okay, so off we go. So getting started with our anchor card. So our anchor card is from a separate deck. As you can see, we have a gold deck and a pink deck. So there's a possibility we could pull this card twice. And our anchor card is the King of Wands, what he thinks of when he sees you. He feels like he's in his full power. He feels like he wants to enlist you in making his dreams come true. He feels like an extremely powerful person. He feels like he's in this divine masculine energy, that he is ready to move forward, no obstacles getting in the way. Really lighting up a lot of passion, purpose, creativity, super fire energy, a whole bunch of fire, a lot of, I feel a lot of physical attraction and a lot of energetic attraction and a lot of just like, ooh, smoldering, burning up energy, just sort of roasting right here. Okay, so we're getting into the cards we just pulled. We have the Page of Cups, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Page of Wands, another page coming through, and we have the Magician. So interesting. So first, let's point out all the wand energy that we have. So we're starting with the King of Wands. So we know that this fire energy is really burning. So it makes sense to have a lot more fire energy showing up in our wands, really getting into that fire, passion, purpose, all that yummy, 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 just like lighting it up with a fire, moving forward energy. So first of all, starting off with the Page of Cups. So I feel like he's already sending you messages. Now, this doesn't have to be a literal actual message. If this is someone you've never talked to before, this could very well be like physicality, looks, eye contact, physical messages, body language, but there's some sort of emotional message coming through, and this could be done with humor especially. I mean, we have this funny little fish in the cup, and our cup's getting into feelings and emotions. So it's something that's coming through that like there's a message coming in, our pages coming in as messenger cards. There's something that's coming in already that's really like trying to tell you, hey, I am so interested in this fire that's burning up right here. I want to move forward on this, and I want to do it in a very king-like way, just a very straightforward, moving forward, anything I need to do to get there kind of way. So there is like maybe a funny little message coming through that stands for a whole lot more, that comes through as like a humorous or something. And this person probably utilizes humor in it to a certain degree as well in conveying their feelings and emotions. Now we have the Seven of Wands. So also, I feel like they do sort of feel like perhaps there's some sort of competition. There is some sort of, and perhaps it's just by seeing you and knowing that like, hey, you must have options. You must have like, I'm going to need to show some dominance here. I'm going to have to fight a bit for this. And I think that that's actually a sort of desirable thing for them, that they like that feeling of like having to fight for something, having to struggle a bit, having to sweat over something, having to prove themselves and be found worthy. There's something that's actually like, that's part of the whole package for them. So it's a good feeling for them. Like, oh, you probably have a whole bunch of people who are interested in you. You probably have all these things going on. I'm going to have to really, in order to keep my place here, in order to like show some dominance and show some fight, I'm going to have to really sort of show up and be a competitor. Now, the Nine of Swords is showing up here, which is very interesting. So our swords get into our thought space, intelligence space, and our Nine of Swords is a card of someone who, you know, it's sort of like classically can't go to sleep because they're just thinking so much and sort of torturing them. So I am feeling like there is some part of you that ignites something in them that makes it hard for them to sleep, to stop thinking. And it is kind of in a torturous way. So either it's sort of bringing up this feeling of, we'll take a look at some blocks in a bit, but bringing up these thoughts of like I've been here before, I've lost love before, I've moved on something before, things never work out. Sort of these kind of maybe this like cascade of thoughts just tumbling down where it could keep them from moving on things. That even though they have this unstoppable energy and they have this fire, and in general they seem to be a very motivated person, they also I think might have some pain from the past and some pain that's popping up and leading to some destructive thoughts that make it hard for them to move forward. So if things aren't moving as fast as you want, if you're already in like a situationship or relationship with them, or if things haven't really begun yet at all, because because this is really just like the energetic field here of where you are with them, there could be something that makes it hard for them to bump things forward and move things forward that you don't get to see. It's going to be very much private, kept to themselves, not on display. So probably they're displaying more of this sort of like competitor's edge, which gets to a tricky space because I do feel like they like that kind of like having to win for it and all that feeling. But it is interesting because they're not letting themselves really move forward. So that gets into a tricky space for you and for things to move forward here. Now we have the Knight of Wands as well as the King of Wands. So I am feeling like as they see you and they interact and they get this energy with you, they want to move forward in a rash way. Obviously they're being kept back from really like diving in and fully running into this. It doesn't feel like they're running forward and running in because it feels like there's a real block here, but they have the impetus to do that, to be like I am just gonna, I have to conquer the world. I have to dominate all of these things. If I can be this like, if I can dominate my work field and I can be the very best here and I can work on my physicality and my, like pull in the package together. If I can just be this masculine package, then and have all this fire energy, then maybe I can be good enough, that kind of thing. But also they have this real drive to just take off with it and take off with you, like to really just dive in. And, I feel like if something comes forward to move things forward, soon it's going to feel a little bit like it's kind of coming out of nowhere because it's going to be this kind of little explosive kind of moment of like, oh, I had all this momentum sort of building up behind it and now you get to see it, so it might just sweep you away and sweep you off your feet a bit as it sort of comes out into the light. Now the Page of Wands is also coming up. So I also feel like they're sending more messages, and this feels like, the humorous kind of like playful message, and I feel like there are more messages to come. These are going to feel more, and there might already be more messages here. I feel like these are going to be this. I feel like this is more like an offer coming in, a little more authentic to them. So like this is fun and like, and great, but it's also, just like a tiny bit out of their, I don't want to say out of their comfort zone, but maybe not as planted in who they are as what's going to be arriving. I feel like this is an offer coming in to like move things along, take things into a deeper space, but really take that with, open hands as much as possible, and be open and prepared for that coming in, that it might not feel big and bold like this sort of flying energy. The offer itself of, like if it's like a first time thing, then it would just be, like spending more time together, getting to know each other, or this sort of moving things to a different space if you're in a situationship or something. So this might feel like where you're like, I don't know, is that the offer I was waiting for? But I feel like it might feel very grounded. It might feel very just sort of like an extension of who they are, of moving things forward. And that's a good thing. And I would be very, I would offer up to you, if you're very interested in this, to like keep hands very open to that and to be relaxed into like, yeah, this is how we move things forward. This is good. because they have some hurdles to overcome. So it might, you know, like this is going to be sort of an interesting mix of how we get over these hurdles. You know, we have this intensity energy coming in, but we also, you know, so we also have the hurdles. So it's going to be a little bit of a pairing of that. Now we have the Magician as well. So the Magician is this manifestation card. And I'm feeling this less as how they feel about you when they see you, about like manifesting things, and more about the ability of where you both are in turning this into something. So that you are both in a space, you know, this is a card that says, hey, you have every tool available to you to manifest everything you desire. So you do right now. They do as well. You have every tool you need. They have every tool they need to manifest the life that you desire, what you desire in this relationship, what this could be. You have every tool available to you, but it is up to both of you to utilize those tools, to take action with those tools. It's a beautiful thing that you have so much power in your hands that you can utilize your tools, which you know how to do, to move things forward. But that does take action. So this is very also like a call to action of using those tools to move things forward in the direction of your dreams, into the direction that you want to go. So I would like to ask a few questions. I would like to ask Source, your guides, angels, higher power. I'd like to first ask about anything we need to know more about this person. What else do we need to know about this person? What else do we need to know about this person? So interesting. We're getting the Page of Pentacles. This is our third page. So I do feel like this is kind of a non-answer answer of, you know, pages bringing in messages. Often, you know, the Pentacles getting into finances, money, worldly goods, worldly things that are of this earth. So I feel like this answer is saying you have the messages coming through, you have the answers coming through of what you need to know about them, and they're showing up in the physical realm. They're showing up in you know, his body language, his you know, his actions, his what you're seeing coming off of him that is hitting you instinctually. You can trust that as a message of like, this is the kind of person he is. This is the kind of, you know, this is how he's showing up in the world. You can really read a whole lot and get a whole lot of information from where you are right now just by this person's physicality, this person's, you know, body language, mannerisms, their warmth, the way that they interact with the world around them. So, and even, you know, the things they buy and the things that they wear and the things that, you know, you're going to see a lot about their priorities and who they are and what they value just showing up in, you know, in their physical space. So I'd like to know anything else we need to know about this person, just in case we can get even more of an answer. Let's see. I'm feeling this card right here. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. Well, hi. So the Two of Cups is a beautiful card, or cups getting into those feelings and emotions. This is two people, and this gets into beautiful relationships. I think this is an important message that this person would be a great partner. This person would be the kind of partner where even if you're feeling all this fire energy and things feel a little, you know, like intense at moments and such, they're a great communicator. Ultimately, they show up as a great partner in the world, that they're solid, they're steady, they're loyal, they're steadfast, they're trustworthy. They're going to try to meet you on even ground. They're going to try to see you as an equal. They're not going to try to dominate you, and they're not going to try to take away your voice. They're going to want to see what you're bringing in just as much as show you what they are bringing in. This person has really lovely qualities to be a good partner, which is a lovely thing to hear and see, especially if you're really interested in making that happen, which I'm guessing that you are. Okay, so I would also like to know, about any obstacles or blocks that are showing up here. Any obstacles or blocks that are showing up here. And we already know we've got some blocks and obstacles coming through, but I want to see any more that we need to know. Obstacles and blocks. The Eight of Pentacles coming in. So I'm seeing this as, this is so interesting because we're really getting back into that physical world and the physical realm. This could get into, money making. This could be that they're having a hard time accruing or building their finances, and that's making them feel less than or have some doubts, or like maybe you're having a hard time with that, that's making you feel less than. So you're not being as consistent with your money and your finances as you could, and that's adding some shadow in there. But there is some, like consistent delivery system that's not happening here, that's showing up as a block. And that could also be that they're not delivering these physical messages that are coming in. Our Page of Pentacles, those physical messages that you're looking for of like who they are, but also how they feel about you, all those sorts of messages that are coming in, that they might not be doing it as consistently as you need in order for you to have a full, like, okay, I feel very comfortable understanding who this person is, or I feel very comfortable understanding this person is interested. Like there's something about an inconsistency somewhere, for you or for them or for both. There's some sort of inconsistency of just not, and that can get into the money realm as well. And then also I do feel like can get into that physical space. There's something in the physical space of, just certain body cues, physical cues that are just not showing up enough, that could really put a damper on everything, because it, at this point, it does feel like it's really important. If there's this block that we're trying to overcome in order to move forward, you are going to need some good signals. So I'd also like to know about obstacles and blocks for you in your heart space that could stop this from moving forward. So this doesn't have to be right now of moving forward from where you are right now, but for it to becoming whatever full fruition it has the potential of becoming. So obstacles and blocks for you, obstacles and blocks for you, obstacles and blocks for you that are coming in. So we have the Six of Cups. And the Cups, again, getting into our feelings and emotional space. The Six of Cups getting into this. This is a very, like sort of childhood space. This can get into like warm and cozy feelings from childhood. Having someone from childhood that elicits like these beautiful feelings. But this is really telling me as an obstacle and a block that there's something from your childhood that has the potential, which makes perfect sense, right? We learn so much when we're young from our parents, but a relationship that happened in your childhood. Now this could be a parental relationship. It doesn't have to be a child-child relationship. And so this could be something where you were, taking in information and that information was false. So maybe there's some false beliefs in there, some feelings that felt really bad, something that felt really bad when you were a child that just felt like, I don't understand, or this feels unfair, or this feels, something that left you uncertain of where you are now, or how to have what you want now as you are now as a grown-up. So this is time to do any shadow work, to do work on your belief systems. What do you believe to be true about love and partnership? What do you believe to be true? And are those beliefs accurate? Where did they come from? And are there things you need to change about your belief system? And the trickiest thing about beliefs is that there are a good many of them that are hidden to us. Those are the most dangerous types of beliefs, especially the limiting beliefs that we don't even realize. The belief is so ingrained, we don't even realize it is a belief of ours. We just take it as a truth, a universal truth. This is a true thing. That's it. I didn't even know there was an option for there to be another way to think about it. So that gets tricky. You might need to enlist the help of others. Now, this card also tells me, as I say that, is that you can enlist the help if you have siblings, if you have childhood friends, people who have known you your whole life. You could ask them as well. Do you recognize or think there might be any limiting beliefs around love in my life because of anything that happened with my parents or in childhood, or what I saw of relationships? Is there anything that you notice that might come up that way for me? That could also be very, very helpful. Okay, so I would like to know, I would like to know I would like to know about potential outcome for you. I would like to know about potential outcome for you. I would like to know about potential outcome for this and for you. And I am feeling 2 separate cards. Okay, so looking at our potential outcome of where this could go. We have the 4 of Cups and we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is so interesting. So the 4 of Cups is that blocked energy. So we really have 2 paths here. The Queen of Pentacles is this like fertile growth building energy. So I feel this very much in 2 ways. This is sort of this mothering energy. You have, there's an ability for this to give birth to a full, complete, beautiful relationship. There is potential for this to be in a Queen and King space, for it to be a full, this is very, like I said, very fertile energy. This, and so I like to say giving birth to this relationship, but this, where you're both kind, you're both taking care of each other, you're taking care of the family you create, whatever kind of family that might be, even if it's just between the 2 of you, where you build a world around you and you create things around you. Then you also have the potential for the blocks to come in and for there to be a no space, that it just gets blocked before it really gets going. So the 4 of Cups, the cups are feelings and emotions. This card, something coming in, beautiful, being offered up, and this energy coming back as like a no, and I haven't handled the blocks. So we need to watch out for that for you, but we also need to watch out for them. So there is this potential of this full block going on of like, no, thank you. I'm close to that. And you'll know that in them if you cannot get to know them any better. Like they really just refuse to open up. They refuse to share their feelings, to let things go deeper. And of course that would be sad, but you cannot control another person. This does have full potential. But you can do the work on your end to energetically help them on their end as well. So if you look at your blocks and you look at your shadow and you keep moving that energy forward and really help that, because your energy opening that way, because you're connected and linked, can help their energy open that way as well. So really helping that to move that energy along. But also you need to watch out for this for you, because you don't want to look back and say, oh, hey, I just wasn't open to this. And I really wish I had been, because this was such a good opportunity or thing, or like this could have really been something. But I just couldn't let myself be open to it. It's not that you couldn't. Of course, we can do anything. We have to be willing to, that you want to, that you're willing to. So you just want to really be aware of this and evaluate this. My dear heart, my goodness, we have a lot going on. Let's go ahead and drop a coin below, any type of coin below. I feel like there's probably 1 coin below, but if there's not a coin below, then you could do a medal as well, because that kind of looks like our pentacles. To own this, to claim this, I would also really like some feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say. I would also, of course, love for you to like and to subscribe and to be here. I read all the comments. I'm so grateful for your presence. I'm so grateful for you being here. You can always do a deeper dive, and that link is below. I think I might have just said that. Or I might be thinking of the past reading, but my goodness, I'm lifting you up. I'm sending you everything you need to sit into this, and to get the information that you need from this to help move things forward in a way that you desire. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I'm sending you light. Until I see you again. Mwah. Mia. Ooh, welcome in my card 3. Land, arrive, be here with me now. Let go of anything you don't need. So we're finding out what he thinks of you when he sees you. What is he thinking? What's going on in his mind? So first of all, I'm going to pull some tarot cards. Oops. Let's go ahead and shuffle these up. We're asking Source, we're asking our guides, we're asking higher power to give us some insight into what is he thinking? What is he thinking? What is he thinking when he sees you? So we're going to pull a few cards to get us going. And we're going to start with our anchor card right here. So starting with our anchor card, and as you can see, I'm pulling from 2 separate decks. So there's always a possibility we could have a duplication of this first anchor card. And our first card is the 2 of Pentacles. This is interesting. So he's juggling something. There's something going on where he's very attracted to you. He wants to put his energy and focus on you, but also he's juggling something else. So I'm feeling like there's a possibility he might be sort of in something with someone else. He might be already sort of have his attention with someone else. There might be something that's pulling his attention in 2 different directions. This could also not be another person. This could be, you know, just like, oh, I really need to be focusing on my work, but also I'm really interested in you, but I'm also meant to be just focusing on this one thing. But I do feel like it probably runs to, you know, depending on where you're at in this relationship. If this is a situationship, if this is someone that you would just sort of have your eye on, that they might already be sort of, you know, like have something in hand, and then your energy is really pulling them as well. So they're also, you know, pulled between these 2 energies. Now for our cards, we have the Chariot, we have the King of Wands, we have the Hermit reversed, we have the 8 of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Knight of Swords. So interesting. So much information coming in. Okay, so let's get started over here with the Chariot. So the energy that he feels when he sees you, and this doesn't matter where you are in this relationship, from like not talking to him, like never having actually like met, to situationship, to being in a relationship with this person, their energy when they are around your energy, it is like, oh, I want to ride into this. I want to be strong and bold, and I want to show my power, and I want to show my strength and my you know, my virility and my dominance and my ability to sort of have all this momentum going forward, and just this sort of like very powerful divine masculine energy of forward movement that they just want to show off and they want to be in. And you're probably getting a lot of that kind of energy coming off of them. Like they're just sort of like showing, they're doing all of these sort of you know, like showing things where they're showing you, you know, like this is why I'm attractive, and this is my divine masculine energy, and let me just, you know, like put some of it in a very primal sort of way of just prowling around and giving off this essence and this energy to you. Now also their King of Wands energy is showing up here. So I'm feeling like you're also putting them in a place where they feel their dominance. So they feel, and I don't mean their dominance over you or over even other people, just sort of like their powerful position in life, that they feel when they're with you or near you, that they have this aura, this essence of fire. And they also feel this physical attraction to you, this fire attraction to you of like, oh, this is burning me up. I'm smoldering here. I'm thinking about this. It's, you know, like a lot of flame energy with our wands. We get into that fire energy, and we have the Ace of Wands coming in a little bit later. So they're feeling this, you know, like unstoppability, that they can do anything. They suddenly have this energy that surges through them. That's like this power to manifest, to get, to go after anything, no obstacles getting in the way, just feeling like, wow, I love this energy. I love this quality about me. I love that this is showing up when this person's around. You're really putting them in a place where they feel like their best self, and it is very attractive. It's extremely attractive, and it feels, you know, it has that kind of like, oh, I need more of this drug. I need more of this person because I love this feeling that I feel about myself when I'm near them. Now we also have the Hermit reversed. So I feel like they're coming out of a quiet space. They've been away from the world. They've been introspective. They've been doing all of this light shining stuff. They've really been shining a light on their interior world. And maybe they've, you know, sort of pulled back from socializing and their friends too much, and just sort of been in this space of like figuring things out that they're coming out of now. And that feels important for you to know. And that also is sort of changing the way that they are in the world. You know, so a lot of this is like a new feeling because it's very in the world. They're being seen this way by you, and they're being seen this way, feel like they're being seen this way when they're in your presence. So this is like this is a very yummy feeling, especially because they're coming from a place where they didn't feel seen at all. They didn't feel like they were being touched by the world at all. They were just doing all this interior space stuff, very introspective, very to themselves. Even if they've been in a relationship, even if they're like in a relationship now, and that's where they're in the juggle, where they're like, oh, this relationship's not really working out, or I feel strange and I'm really being pulled and attracted to this other person, because they're really pulled into their interior space, even if they've been in something else. Now, the Eight of Cups, the cups getting into the feelings and emotions, is a moving away card. So I feel like they are in a space of moving away from something that held a lot of heart space, a lot of feelings for them. So it could just be that this juggle is happening between you and a memory of someone else too. That they've been coming out of something, and as they were coming out, they really took a lot of alone time, but they haven't left it yet, like emotionally and mentally, they're still, they're still in the process of walking away from it. So they are moving away from something and leaving something behind, and that does feel like it could be a possible block. I mean, just from the juggling aspect, that feels like it can be a possible block for this moving forward into what it could possibly be. But also, from the space that there's still some, there's a journey going on, and that's a tricky transition to make into being in something new. But it's not, that life is full of tricky transitions. We do them all the time. So it's completely capable of transitioning and morphing into something bigger and better. Even if you were really in a relationship with this person, it just needs to go deeper, this still can be a block there. Now the Ace of Wands is popping up. So our ace is getting into new opportunities, new things coming in. The wand's getting into that fire energy that they're feeling like they possess when they're in your presence. And this this drive and momentum forward, this growth that's happening, and that sizzle and that burn. And so I'm feeling like this energy is sort of, this new thing is coming in for the potential for this. So all of this is, I feel like it's building up to, an offer being made, something, moving something forward, taking something to possibly a new level. Doesn't mean that this can't pop up and bite you as a little block along the way where they're still handling things and dealing with things, and so it's like a stop and go. But there is something that's coming forward, that's going to move things forward. So that's a nice thing to look out for and to be open-handed with if this is something that you really are interested and invested in growing and seeing if this could be something or if it could go deeper. And then we have the Knight of Swords coming in as well, and our swords getting into our thought space, intelligence space. You can see this card is full of action. It is full of action, and it's just full of speed. It's full of speed and moving forward and just going straight into the battle, going straight into it. Now, I'm seeing this as two things, that they can be willing to move straight into something with you, that they could be willing to get to the space where they can move straight into a relationship or something bigger and deeper, even though they've been moving out of this space. They could be willing to just let's ride in, let's go, full force, full forward, nothing can stop us, let's move. So there could be all of this momentum with it. This also does feel like they could be willing to do the work they need to move through this fast. So to get through the blocks, they can be willing to pick up their sword and just charge through it. Do the mental work, do the mental, the things that they need to do on their end in order to be in a position to truly make this be available to be something big and deep and good and have a real possibility for a future. So either way, that feels like a very positive thing. So very positive things coming in. Okay, so I want to ask a few questions. So we want to reach out to Source, your higher powers, your angels, your guides, and I just want to open this up to, first of all, what you need to know about them. So what is it that you need to know about them? What is it that you need to know about them? There's something right in here. It's going to take my fingers a second to get it. There we go. The Knight of Cups. I love this. what you need to know about them. So our cup's getting into those feelings and emotions. We're seeing all this dominant power energy, this sort of divine masculine energy of like, ooh, yummy, dominance, yum, masculine, like, ooh, no obstacles, moving forward, yay. Like, wow, charging forward. Like, this is some real hardcore masculine energy. This is different. This is like, I've got some feelings coming in. I have these emotions. I can listen. I'm hearing you. I'm touching in with your feelings. I can read your emotional body language. I can read your emotional cues. Like, this is like heart on sleeve kind of energy. So the important thing to know here, which I'm so happy to know, is that with all of this, like really, it is very attractive masculine energy. It is very good stuff. But there is also a very heartfelt human being here that has the ability to show up in a relationship with their heart, to have really deep feelings, to have really deep love relationships, to have really deep love feelings, things that go very deep and that offer a lot. And we know that they had a lot of deep love feelings and that things that offered a lot before. So like they've been in a space where they've been able to offer up their heart. And, there's the possibility for some block things going on there, but also they very much have the ability to have a lot of heart and a lot of feeling and a lot of emotional ability, which is fantastic and exactly what we want to hear. What else do you need to know about this person? What else do you need to know about this person? I'm feeling this one back here. What else do you need to know about this person? The Ace of Pentacles coming in. Our aces, we already have an ace coming in. Our ace is bringing new things in, and our pentacles getting into, money and worldly goods, but also things of this earth. So like, juggling two people or two, different, things that, hold something of this human plane. So as we get into this with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like there's going to be, that they're bringing something new in, that they're bringing something with their person. They're bringing something new in that you haven't experienced before. And it's going to feel different, but good. So this is the kind of thing that if you want to grow this, you're going to have to be open to a different type of person. And that's going to take some learning, but a lot of openness, and also a removal of some expectation from past relationships, or limiting beliefs from past relationships where you expect someone to behave like this, or you expect someone to bring this kind of thing forward. I do feel like this also gets into the physical body as well. So this could be the physical relationship, the physical manifestation of this relationship, that it's different. Your, like bedroom life is different than it ever has been before. And this is a good card. This is a beautiful card. So it's in a good way. It's just like not leaving the, letting yourself get out of your comfort zone, letting yourself get out of your, the limitations on your vision of what something it should or could be. And that could also be, like, oh, they love to cuddle and they love to like hold hands, and they, just sort of letting yourself be very, and I'm not saying that they necessarily do, I'm not sure that that's showing up, but it is in a physical way somehow too. There's something physical about that. Okay, so I would like to know about anything that's really important for you to know about this person, but anything that's really important for you to know about the manifestation of this, of anything that's in the energy field right now that's really important for you to know. And we're getting the Four of Swords. So there's also a bit of rest that needs to happen here, or swords getting into that mental space. So this tells me that you need to rest your mind. Rest your thoughts here. So as your thoughts want to trundle along and take you off on a journey before you've really journeyed it with them, let it all just rest into what is real and what is here before creating a whole bunch of expectation. And we just sort of learned that because new things are coming in that you're not going to expect, you won't know to expect, because it's not what you've experienced before. So ultimately, to move this forward in the direction you want to go, you're going to have to let yourself calm down the mental activity around everything and just really rest back into what is. Enjoy the pleasure of the now. Enjoy the pleasure of, of the moments, of the energy that's going between you, of what offers come in about maybe moving this forward, about enjoy that energy and enjoy the actual presence of this person, and let that rest into that. Let yourself rest into it and just be calm with it. And that's going to take you very far. I want to know about any obstacles that are coming up for this moving forward. I want to know about any obstacles that I am feeling this card coming up for you moving forward. I want to know about obstacles coming up for you moving forward. We have the Seven of Cups, which, the cups getting into those feelings and those emotions. And this does get into that, expectation space. So I do feel like as a block, this could be you and your expectations of something else, that it's something different, that it's, to remove some of those expectations. And to see things as they really are, not as they are in the clouds, not the best case, worst case scenario, really just pulling back into reality. But also, I feel like as a block, this could go their way as well. And not just on expectations, but they're just getting too much in their head and getting away from reality. And I think that, they've spent a lot of time in their head. They've been spending a lot of time, they're also moving away from something. So I feel like this could also be them stuck in, a past relationship, their dreams of their future. So for both of you, really just getting into the reality of what is and getting into the present moment as much as possible is going to serve you really well, because that could be a block for both. And of course, you can't do anything about them. You can't change their mind. You can't change their space, but you can change your energy and work on those blocks for yourself to help them change their energy and their blocks. So I want to know really specifically for you about your blocks, your heart space, anything that could block this from manifesting into something bigger and greater. Is there anything for you that we need to know that could really block this from being something bigger and something greater? And we have the Eight of Swords, and that makes perfect sense. So I actually don't feel like I've pulled the Eight of Swords recently. I'm sure I have, but the Eight of Swords comes up. It's the sword space, gets into that thought space, intelligence space. The thoughts that are hemming you in and keeping you prisoner and bound up and blindfolded, this is actually a space that you can get yourself out of at any time. So there are limiting beliefs, there are limiting thoughts, there are destructive thoughts going on in your world, things that keep you from letting yourself fall in love, be open to love, be open to new things, be open to differences, be open to, this is the opposite of being open, right? To be bound up and blindfolded. You can't see, you can't feel, you can't hug, you can't touch, you can't live your life in a full capacity in this position. This position is very limiting. And so there's the danger of getting stuck in this space if you do not release yourself from this space. So you're really going to have to get to the heart of what it is that is holding you in. Where in your heart space are you closing things off? Where are you letting yourself be held prisoner by a past relationship, by past love, by a limiting belief that someone sort of put on you, but that you kept as your own, that you decided to stay in? Is there something that makes you feel unworthy or less than? And then you really have to do the work to get yourself out of there, because it's not a productive space. It's not a space that can move you forward. It's not a space that's going to be, running free and jumping on the back of this horse. It's not going to be something that's going to, let you enjoy the fruits of what this could be. It could really block things up. And again, you working on your blocks will help energetically them to work on their blocks just by virtue of energy, which is wonderful. So you get a little cue to okay, I can work on this. I can do this work. I can take a look at this. And then how far you want to go with that is up to you, but really tuning in and looking at it's going to be the first piece of that puzzle. And then I also want to see where this can go. What is the possibility for this manifestation? What is the possibility of this in its fullest fruition? If we get past those blocks, what could this be? I'm feeling this card right here. Hi, the Empress. So the Empress is this growth, fertile energy, this divine feminine energy. This can bring you to a place where you feel your absolute most powerful. So this could become a fully fledged, full, yummy bite into it, things growing all around you, very, just turning into a forest, really turning into a field ready for harvest, just turning into a really full relationship. It has the potential. And in that really comes in to play also that your energy in this has the potential to turn into being this extremely divine feminine energy, feeling like the woman of your dreams, feeling like I'm morphing into this person I barely recognize. I love this energy I possess. I love this feeling of who I am in this. So really strong, powerful, good things coming out here. If you'd like to do a deeper dive, there's a link below for you to do a deeper dive. Let's pop a tree to represent that Empress energy, that like planting those roots and growing it into a forest energy below. I'd also love comments. You know that I do, and I read them all. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much growth, so much of that fertile energy to grow the life of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams. Be open to this in all of its ways of growing and being, and let yourself rest into that openness and rest into reality, what really is, what is really here. And I'm sending you the strength to do this work to help your own blocks, because that will serve you in every aspect of your life, but that will really serve you in your heart space and your soulmateship. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light until I get to see your beautiful self again. Mwah. Mia. Welcome in my card for Arrive. Let go of anything you don't need to. We're taking a look at some energy today. So we're taking a look at what he thinks of you when he sees you. What is he thinking? What's going through his head? Now this could be any type of relationship. So this could be from you've never spoken before. This is just you've been in each other's presence. You've been in each other's energy. This could be a situationship. This could be a relationship. So we're just taking a look at all the eventualities, and we'll let the cards sort of guide us. So I'm going to go ahead and start here, and we're going to pull some cards for you. So we're starting with these 3 cards and these 3 cards and your anchor card. So let's go ahead and get started with your anchor card. Okay, so with our anchor card here, let's take a look. What is he thinking when he sees you? What's going through his mind? We have the 9 of Wands. The Wands bringing that fire energy, that passion, that purpose, that smolder, things are growing here, energy. And the 9 of Wands is this person who's been hurt. They've been hurt. They've been in battle. They've been through the fires. They've been in the war. And, they are still standing. Now, they're not their full capacity. They're not their craziest, strongest self. They're not in their king energy. They're not in a full, fruition here, but they are still in this. They are standing up. They are coming back around. So I am feeling like they've been hurt. They've been through a relationship. They've been in something. They've been, their heart's been knocked around a bit. Or even if this is something, with you where things have gone wrong, or if we were looking at an ex or something, like that, or something like that, like that they're still here for it. They're still here for it. But they're standing into this. You are getting all of these feelings and emotions and all this fire that's building up in them. And they're like, okay, I'm building up the strength to stay in this and to hold ground for this and hold space for this. And to be here for this. But there's still a state of healing that's happening, and that does feel like that state of healing in itself feels like that it could be a potential block already. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards we're pulling here. We've got the 4 of Swords, we have the 5 of Swords reversed, we have the High Priestess reversed, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Chariot, and we have the Judgment card. It's so interesting that the Chariot's come up 3 times. I think this is the 3rd time it's come up in our readings today. So first of all, let's start with the 4 of Swords. They've been in this rest period. They've been like in this, like, I need to heal, I need to rest, I need to recover from this thing. So this is sort of like a starting space, I feel like, of where everything is drawing from, that's important to know, that they've been in a rest mode, they've been in a recovery mode, they have been trying to get their strength back. They're standing back up into it. They're here and interested, but there's been a lot of recovery going on. Now, the Five of Swords reversed, I feel like this is telling me a lot about where this person's coming from and how that changes their view of you, or how it is, how the view of you is important, things that are important for you to know about what we're seeing here. So with the Five of Swords reversed, this is this kind of like brutalizing card that they've come from something that I feel like I'm gonna pull some energy here that's like brutalizing from a past relationship. The last thing that they were in, it was really like a battle. Things were stolen, things were said, things were cut, people were stabbed. Like this was painful, hard, difficult. And they've been coming out of this space where they really got it. It was really, sort of handed to them, and they got their butt kicked a bit by this energy and this intensity, and that's what all this recovery is coming to. So wherever this is, if you feel like it's not really moving along, if it's not moving fast, if they're not making contact the way that you want or something, there's a reason. This is where that is. It's not because they're not interested. They are interested. They are feeling the fire, but they are also in recovery mode. So they're, this has also been a slowing down of things. They're not, as in the full seat of power as they can be. I do want to pull some cards as we go to see what the full seat of power does look like, so we can see where they can transition into. So the High Priestess reversed, I feel like they're reading all of these things off of you. This like intelligence, this, knowing of, you're living between you're owning your dark and your light, you're wise, you have this fertile energy, you have this deep understanding, this deep need for knowledge and growth, but they don't trust that. They're not trusting what they're reading off of you. And I think that has to do with this pain and this hurt and this like being in this space where they've been through it before. So I feel like they're reading really good things off of you, but they're not in a full trusting mode yet, where they're like, I don't want to do that same thing I did before again. I'm not going to totally trust the energy that I'm reading. I'm going to play devil's advocate for everything and really evaluate and then reevaluate and be smarter. And, so this is interesting. Now the Wheel of Fortune comes up, which is, good fortune dropping down. And I feel like they feel like you are good fortune, like you are this good gift that's sort of been dropped in front of them. And, that they enjoy you. They want to see you. They look forward to it. It brings them joy. It makes them feel like there's hope in the world again. It makes them want to stand back up into this fight. It makes them want to recover and get their energy back. It makes them, happy. There's something that's very like, oh, that's nice about you and about your interactions and about your energy and just what you're bringing and dropping into the world. Okay, so now we also have the Chariot and we have Judgment. Now the Chariot is this ferocious energy. So I do feel like there's this momentum that's building where they're feeling like, hey, I could get my energy back. I could be in this full state of power that's moving forward, straight into battle, straight into, showing off my strength, which they really can't do because they don't have their full strength yet. But they're trying to move into this space, and this is very movement oriented, that they're trying to move forward into this space where they can show you what they really truly offer and bring to the table. They're trying to get to the space where they're like, oh yeah, but look at all of my amazing qualities. They're just not on display quite yet because they're not fully inhabiting all their amazing qualities yet, but they're really trying to move into this space where they can show you that they're moving forward, they're stepping in, they're they're strong and courageous and confident and able to come forward and able to make offers and do the things and like all the things that that I feel like are probably things you're missing out on here and that you want to come forward that just aren't quite available yet. Now, the Judgment card is also coming in. So I do feel like judgments are soon to be made here for both of you. So like things are starting to come to a space where like really landing in some decisions here about forward movement, about taking things to something else, about making things deeper, about, like, are you really who you say you are? Do I really trust this feeling? Do I really trust what's happening here? So I feel like some decisions are about to be made that has the potential to move things in one direction or another, but hopefully in one good direction. That, I feel a lot of positive things here, that it's, so I feel like it's, just sort of getting out of their own way in some respects, but also letting the healing that needs to happen, because some of that just does take a bit of time and processing, and strength gathering and ability to come in as with that Chariot energy. I want to pull some more cards. So I do want to ask some questions. I am very curious about this person in their fullest capacity. So what does this person's energy really look like for you when they really show up, when they're fully healed, when they're recovered, when they're, like if you were looking at this and like, this is an amazing relationship down the road, then what does that person look like? Because I don't feel like you're probably getting that full picture right now. You're probably just getting a slice of their good qualities and not really a full slice at all. So we're getting the Hierophant. That's interesting. So someone who's curious, wise, seeking, educated, wants to keep learning, wants to know, has a lot of knowledge and curiosity, and then this can also run towards the possibly religious or the social structured, that they have these structural sort of ideals for themselves, for their partner, for their relationship, that they, within their upbringing, that they were, brought up in such a way. It doesn't have to be from their upbringing, but probably from their upbringing, that they've decided, or, like, this is the way things should be. So they do have some real structure to them, some real inlaid structure for how they want things to be, and their ideals and morals, and their growth patterns, and their seeking mind. I'm feeling something back here because I do want to I really do want to know some more about them. And so we have the Page of Pentacles coming in. So the Pentacles getting into worldly goods. This could get into money. They might be really interested in and good with money, and also have a lot of inspirations about money. They might just be like sort of a novice moneymaker. I kind of want to say, like someone who's in the beginning stages of, like entrepreneurship, or has a lot of ideas and thoughts on money and worldly goods, and of the body as well, anything of this world. But it does feel like there's something that's like, just like, ooh, that's a good idea, and that's a good idea. And they might have a lot of things where they kind of speckle out these ideas. Now, I want to get into sort of the pith of who they are, like their deep inner being. At the core of them, what are they bringing to the table? At the core of them, what are they bringing to the table? And we have the Page of Cups. That's so interesting. So we have two pages here that are showing up, and for me, it's very curious, because I'm feeling these are messenger cards. They're very youthful. So I feel like there's some part of this person who is still very inexperienced, who's still really figuring things out, feeling out their heart, has a good sense of humor, likes to laugh, uses a sense of humor to build relationships and bonding and love and feelings, uses these sort of like, is a very inspired, sort of has a lot of little inspirations and a lot of like enthusiasm for life, enthusiasm for things. But also, they still have a ways to go in their maturing. So, right now from where they are, there's still a lot of maturing that's yet to happen, and that's to be, so they're still at a space where they're still very much growing in the direction of their complete fullness. And there's a lot of youthfulness to that, a lot of youthfulness to it, and these little inspirations to that. Now I want to look at, I would like to look at any potential, I want to look at any potential blocks for you, because we see a ton of potential blocks for them. So we see these sort of difficult little like things that they have to hurdle and rest and recover from, get all their strength back, and, you know, sit into this enthusiasm and get out of this like scared sort of take, you know, like I'm holding it down, I'm just holding it together and I'm getting back in the fight, but being like inspired and excited and having this youthful sort of like curious energy and this wisdom seeking energy. I want to look at your blocks. What in your heart could block this from manifesting if this is something you truly decide that you desire? I'm feeling this card over here. For you, the Knight of Wands is coming in as a block. Well, that's very interesting. I feel this in two ways. First of all, as a past person, if you were really attached, fell in love with, had a deep relationship with someone who was very fire oriented, very fiery, action motivated, moving forward, unstoppable in a lot of ways, no obstacles getting in front of them, maybe swept you up into a storm of fire and emotion and pulled you forward, and then, you know, things combusted at some point, but that feeling, that person, that memory, that love, all of that stuff could stand as a block, and there might be some letting go that you need to do. But I also feel that there is a potential that because this person has existed for you, there's an expectation that that is what you want. And this person is not that person. This person is a different kind of person. And you'll, you know, get to know this person. They do have that Wands energy. They do have that fire energy, you know, but there are different qualities here. And so if it doesn't feel like this intensity and this passion and this like, rah, I'm going to pick you up and take you so fast forward, you don't know what happened to you, you might not feel like it's real. But I don't think that's true. That's just an experience that you've had and an expectation you have that you're moving forward. So there is some work that needs to be done here for you. And, you know, I would sit with that and journal about that and figure that out if that feels true or not for you. And I would be open to receiving any messages about this, because this could really get in the way of seeing them for who they are and seeing their great qualities, and that they have this sense of humor, and that they have these, you know, sort of younger attributes that are, you know, but also wisdom seeking is not a young attribute, you know, like, but there's a different energy here. This is a different energy. And if you didn't have that drama of intensity, could you still be happy? You know, is that something that you felt like you needed? And that drama can fire us up and burn us up too. So, you know, there are danger sides to that. I do kind of want to pull one more card for your obstacles, because I feel like this is going to be pretty important. And this is important for you moving forward in any soulmate journey. So the Six of Swords, so that moving on process, the moving away from is a real obstacle, which is hard work to move forward and move on and let go of old thoughts, sword space, getting into thoughts and intelligence space, letting yourself do what needs to be done to move on from the past and move on from this person. And that's really the biggest block here for you. So letting yourself move forward and move on and take that journey into it. And there's some sadness that comes along with this. This doesn't look like a happy journey. This isn't the fool with arms open, you know, like, I'm ready for it. You know, this is, you know, this is like hunched figures, and there's something a little cold and sad, and, you know, it's difficult. It's a difficult place to move from, and it's a difficult thing to move on from and move on with. So letting yourself do it, even if it's hard and even if it's sad and even if that brings up old emotions and feelings and sadness with it. Okay, now I would like to know, what is the possible manifestation for this relationship? What is the possible manifestation for this person? Is there a possible manifestation? Is there something that could be had at the end of this tunnel? What would that look like? What would that look like? What would that look like? Interesting. The Queen of Pentacles. This is the second time I pulled the Queen of Pentacles in this position as well. So the Queen of Pentacles is a beautiful energy. It is a fertile energy. It is, this card of fertility and mothering and nurturing and growth and taking care of and letting things grow all around, and financial security and autonomy, being able to be kind and loving and gracious to everyone else, and also to be able to take care of oneself, all of that. So I am feeling like at its peak, this could be a beautiful fruition where it is, this is mature energy. This is a maturity of being able to take care of that this relationship ultimately could be this, you take care of each other, you grow together, you nurture each other. This would be great family having energy if you wanted to have a family in any which way that came about. It could be the two of you creating a family together. It could be, expanding out or bringing, all the pieces of your family together. But there's something very familial here as well, very family oriented here in this card as well. But also, financially stable and, just very responsible and very mature and very grounded and very growth oriented. So very lovely long-term energy of like growing old, good energy that can be a very strong energy to sit into for something to be a long-term, lifelong thing. This would be something you might want to do a deeper dive on, and I would highly recommend that. To represent that growth energy and that taking care of and nurturing and all of that, let's go ahead, let's pop something into, let's pop like a seedling, like one of those little seedlings down below as an emoji down below. You can pop anything as emoji as well if you can't find it. I don't expect you to run around looking for emojis if you can't find them, but just to represent that growth energy that you could grow together if you chose to. And if you worked on these blocks. And I would start with your blocks, because they're handling, they're sort of in the process of handling theirs, and hopefully they can complete that work. But you're doing your work can help energetically them to do their work as well. That can be like an amplifier for them, an energetic amplifier for them. Oh, my dear one, I am sending you off with everything you need right now to be strong and courageous, to do what you need to do to really see this. And if you choose to move on from it, and that's a choice you're going to have to make. Our hearts are all in different spaces and they take different timetables. And you get to decide what that is for you. But I'm sending you love, whatever you decide to do and wherever you are. And all of the intuition that you need, your deeply intuitive self, for understanding and seeing and evaluating. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you some fire. I'm sending you light as well into your week, into your day, into your year, into your life. Until I see you again. Mwah. Mia.